Hey there viewers, you may have clicked on this video because of this interesting title. Today, we'll be going through if Harvard is worth the hefty price that most people paid for. Imagine you're Tim. From a very young age, his parents told him that Harvard equals good and high-paying job. He was devoted into getting into Harvard, so he worked hard for most of his life. By studying for hours each day, he was confident that he could get into Harvard. When he finally got into Harvard and was time for him to attend the university, he faced unexpected problems that he had never been told about. It's the tuition costs and the way of managing his finances. Most Harvard student ends up paying a hefty price of over 82 grand. Since most Harvard students can't afford high tuition fees, most of them ends up in student debt. How much debt are we talking about? See, a study shows that in 2014, all of Harvard students ends up owing about $1.2 billion in debt total, which means each student like Tim owes about $21,000 in total. But luckily, Harvard came up with a plan of giving out financial aid to students under these circumstances. For a student whose family has an annual income of 100 grand gets every expenses covered, while students with 200 grand annually gets tuition, housing and food covered. After Tim finally finished university, he faced a problem that he never expected, as he wasn't taught about it. See, the truth is, he was never taught about that skills were needed for him to get a job. All he knew was a diploma could get him a job. See, the reality is, we must all acknowledge that most jobs focus more on skills rather than the degree. Since Tim ended up studying without learning a single new skill, he ends up struggling to find a job. Let's say he studies in the field of computing. He needs years worth of dedication and skill practice in order for him to be qualified. It felt like most of his life were gone to waste into working for one big dream and realizing it was compared to nothing in the real world, while his friends who learned useful skills are making money enough to live a normal and a happy life. Tim was confused and not sure on what mistakes he had made. He could do things like buying stocks or trading. Anything related to the market can be done by him. But his lack of confidence in trying new things kept him away from success. In the end, we must all realize that in this world, college isn't enough to get a job. Instead, we must learn useful skills. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to college, but you should educate yourself more about the outside world and things that school never taught you about. In this way, we can all live a successful life and make sure to be confident in taking risk and trying out new stuff. If you truly enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I would appreciate to know your thoughts in the comments.